Men Warriors, it's Kate and welcome back to my channel where I share a weekly video with you about menopause in some way, shape or form. This week I'm actually talking about the benefits of fitness and how that can improve your journey through the menopause. We're going to look at all sorts of different aspects of it, but as part of a healthy lifestyle, even if you have never ever done a day's fitness in your life, it is never ever too late to start. So I just want you to know that whatever age you are, whatever fitness level you are, you may have been doing fitness for years and years and years, and you've got into menopause and you're just finding that the stuff that used to work for you no longer does. I work with so many ladies that are in that predicament. I was in that predicament myself. So I'm going to share with you the tips that I think are the most salient to be aware of, give you the benefits of why fitness is so important for us going forward for a healthy latter life, and not just men, not just physically as well, being actively resilient, when you're strong in your body, when you know that your body is capable of doing more than it used to do, it does help you build that external resilience as well, that mental resilience. So it helps us balance our hormones, manages weight gain, joint health, bone health, helps to reduce muscle atrophy, cellulite, that sort of thing. So firstly, I'm going to talk about hormones in a little more detail. So as we go through the menopause, essentially what happens is our sex hormones fall. So our estrogen, progesterone and testosterone levels all fall, but progesterone and testosterone tend to fall faster than estrogen. So you may have heard of estrogen dominance and been a bit confused, because obviously the menopause and perimenopause suggests that estrogen's falling. So why on earth would we be estrogen dominant? It's because it falls at a slower pace than the progesterone and testosterone. We really want them all to be at a similar level, not to have too much of one. So it's also important to know that when you adopt a healthy lifestyle, or fitness lifestyle as it were, it has a really positive impact on the hormones affecting your how you feel, your happy hormones, and it also helps to regulate the hormones that signify whether we're hungry or full. So there's a very wide range. One thing I do want to mention as we're talking about hormones is that if you are overweight, fat cells actually produce their own estrogen, which is why you may read that obesity is one of the risk factors for developing not only heart disease, but certain cancers. It's because the fat acts a bit like a sponge and it hangs on to those hormones that we really ought to be getting rid of. So just be very mindful of that. If you've got excess weight, work on getting that shifted. It's not impossible. I know it can be difficult. Getting or starting a healthy journey can be really intimidating, particularly if you've never done it before, because it's like, well, where do I start? What do I do? I don't even know what to eat. I don't know how often should I work out. If you're one of those people, or if indeed you've hit that plateau and you're no longer getting the results that you want to get, that is what I do every single day. I work with women and men who are looking to start their healthy journey, or indeed get the results that they're no longer achieving from what they used to do. You'll also get a lot of nutritional support, you get mindset support, you get a lot of accountability and motivational support from me too. So it really, you get an entire, I suppose, holistic approach to starting a healthy lifestyle. So if that is you, either click the links, I'll drop some links below. I've got some various freebies to offer to you today as well. Those will all be below, or indeed they'll either be in the comments if this is on Instagram or Facebook, or and also in the link in my bio. So firstly, how does exercise affect estrogen? We'll just talk about that one first, because that's sort of the main one. Estrogen helps us maintain collagen and elastin. So you'll notice as you go through menopause, all of a sudden you think, oh my God, everything's starting to droop quite fast. The wrinkles appear more quickly. Your joints might be sore. Your energy levels plummet. You can wake up feeling tired even though you slept quite well during the night, if you're lucky enough to sleep well, if you're not being plagued with hot flushes or anxiety and stuff like that. As our estrogen levels fall also, it does have a negative impact on our bone health. So osteoblasts are the cells that build our bones. Osteoclasts are the ones that nibble away at it. They both have a really important role, but as our estrogen levels fall, we tend to have fewer osteoblasts and our osteoclast to remain the same. So essentially, we haven't got as many cells producing bone tissue any longer, which is why one of those reasons, we are at increased risk of bone fractures and brittle bone disease. It's also linked to metabolism. So as our estrogen falls, we need to make sure that we're doing things to keep our metabolism going. Brain health, there are various studies out there at the moment studying the role of estrogen, or the falling estrogen, and lack of exercise and increased risk of things like Alzheimer's and dementia, particularly in women. So estrogen has a really, really important role in our body. Same with testosterone. Testosterone helps you keep a clear brain. It helps you create nice lean muscle. There is this misnomer. I think a lot of women think, oh, I can't do strength training. I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to look bulky. I don't want to look like a man. You won't, because we just do not have the levels of testosterone in our body that would make you look bulky or look like a man. So testosterone is a vital part. We all have it. If we have too much, we probably end up getting hairy in places we don't want to get hairy in, and we might end up with male pattern baldness as well, where we actually start to go bald, where men tend to go bald. So testosterone is a really important one, but again, exercise helps to keep our testosterone levels a bit buoyed. It keeps them going. Human growth hormone. Now, there are people out there that say it's the fountain of youth. There's a lot of contradictory information about taking HGH, human growth hormone supplements. I think if you're, from what I've read, I would not take supplements, but I would focus on a lifestyle that includes exercise that is going to help produce a bit more human growth hormone, because essentially that is what helps keep you feeling youthful, strong and lithe. And yeah, it's associated with just good health. We have our feel-good hormones, our happy hormones, so things like serotonin and dopamine. When we are following a fitness program, we create more serotonin and dopamine. And I just really want you to be aware of the fact that your gut health is absolutely key to how your mental health works. So 90% of serotonin is created in the gut, not the brain. 50% of dopamine is created in the gut. So just be mindful of that. And by doing regular fitness, like healthy lifestyle, and I will get into the type of fitness you need to do in a minute, that is also going to help you with your mental health. On top of that, regular exercise helps you to gobble up cortisol. So as our estrogen levels fall, it's just what happens. Our cortisol levels start to rise, largely because of the fact that the adrenal glands are doing the sort of mop-up job of the ovaries that are no longer working, so effectively. So naturally, our cortisol levels are going to rise a little bit. Now, cortisol is one of those things that is one of our stress hormones. If you've got more cortisol swimming around in your body, you might realize that your bum and leg muscles are they're sort of vanishing, but it's all moving up to your belly fat. That is largely related to cortisol, not completely, but if you see somebody walking on the street and they've got stick legs and a big round belly, that is indication of several factors, but one of them is cortisol. And just know that stress can be caused by drinking too much of the wrong stuff and eating too much of the wrong stuff as well. That's nutritional stress. So it doesn't have to be stress from a job that you hate or walking down a dark alley. It's any kind of environment that does not promote health and happiness within the body, as it were. Also, it's really important that you know that some of our satiety hormones are also affected by exercise. So we have hormones, ghrelin and leptin, that tell us when we are hungry and also tell us when we're full, as well as sleeping badly, which also has a negative impact on our sensitivity to those hormones. By exercising, we improve our sensitivity to those hormones. So it just means that you might stop feeling, you may still have food on your plate, but you stop eating it sooner because you feel that you're full already, and you might not eat as much. You might not be doing the mindless snacking because your body knows it's not hungry. In actual fact, in a lot of cases, if you are feeling hungry, have a large glass of water first. That's one of the principles in one of the nutritional systems that a lot of the ladies that I work with follow. And I know you might think, oh God, that's just a no-brainer. That's so simple. It makes a massive difference. I have a friend who has not really changed anything except for it, and it's a man, except for he has started to drink more water every single day. So he aims for about 6 pints of water a day. He tends to front load the beginning of the day with them, because every night he wants to drink a bottle of wine by himself. And he likes to eat. And I mean, he eats healthily stuff, pretty healthy stuff, but he likes his wine and he likes to party. He enjoys a very good life. And he's lost significant amounts. I think it's around about 40 pounds he's lost just by drinking more water. So it's amazing what just drinking more water can do. So just bear that in mind when you're considering if you're feeling hungry. It could actually be that you're dehydrated. Sort of the early signals for both dehydration and hunger tend to be the same. So yeah, make sure that you're having a good sized glass of water first. I mean, I have always got water with me. Always. I probably drink 6 pints, maybe more a day. I love my water, but I mean, it's very good for us, but just be aware of that. It will help you. It will help you shift some extra pounds. So where does exercise fit into all this? There are various studies that suggest that women should do a minimum of three batches of training a week as a minimum. I would agree with that. I would say between 3 and 5 is the sweet spot. I would say between 4 and 5 is the sweet spot. And those workout sessions should be largely strength training based, not cardio. So not lots of running. Well, you can do lots. If you love running, I think, again, this is really individual. If you're a runner and you love running, but you're struggling to build muscle, you do need to incorporate more strength training, but also know that more muscle will probably make you more heavy. So if you're a runner who really, you're always trying to beat your PB, that's going to be a trade-off for you. But for the vast majority of people, I'm sort of talking for people who haven't really done an awful lot yet. So you want to be doing strength training between 4 to 5 times a week. Now, strength training is also a type of cardio, particularly if you're doing things that involve your arms above your head. They all get your heart rate going. So you are always, don't feel that you have to do a cardio session. You haven't got to go for a run. You haven't got to go spinning. You haven't got to go cycling in order to be fitter and healthier. You can achieve everything you need to do by strength training. The strength training programs that I follow, a lot of them have a small section of HIIT in them. So it's just short bursts of intense activity, which are more cardio based, but they don't go on for so long that they start to spike the cortisol to such a degree that it becomes a belly fat issue. I hope that makes sense. Now, strength training, obviously, because you're using weights or bands or just body weight, that is going to strengthen the bones, because what happens when we're strength training, and indeed running as well, because it's an impact sport, where you are creating tiny little micro lesions, micro tears in your bones, in your muscles, in your tendons. And when they rebuild, that's why recovery days are also absolutely vital. If you're following a fitness regime, you have to have either active recovery days or days off where you really don't do anything particular. I mean, you can go for a walk, you can go for a hike, but nothing super strenuous, because that's when your muscles rebuild. And it's that rebuilding process that actually creates the muscle tone, and it creates the stronger bones. So strong muscles will also pull. So as your muscles grow and become stronger, they'll actually create more tension on the bones that are holding them as well. That is a good thing. That's why you don't want young children doing strength training, before they've reached proper adulthood, really, because they can actually bend their bones. If the muscles become too strong, they can actually, because their bones are still softer, they can actually end up deforming their bones. For us, it's not an issue anymore. So you really want to be doing, plenty of strength training. Don't think that you have to be lifting really, really heavy weights. You don't. Strength training has all sorts of different types to it. You might be volume training, so light weights and just faster movements and more movements. It could be heavy weights for literally just a few movements until you reach the fact that you can't actually, if maybe heavy weights, the bicep curl, it's easy to show, and you actually get to the stage you can't actually lift another one. you sort of reach your maximum capacity. Strength training has different aspects to it, which is why I highly recommend you follow a properly, professionally, expertly put together program. Because if you're piecing together bits from YouTube, that's better than nothing, definitely. But you want to make sure that you have got a really comprehensive plan, so that you're not overtraining different parts of the body too often, and that you're getting a good range of, you know, the sort of the lighter weights, higher volume, and then the heavier weights and less reps type thing. You also need to make sure that your strength training should incorporate your core as well, but you want to make sure that, you know, everything comes from your core. If your core is weak, you're going to struggle. So again, a comprehensive fitness program will make sure that you've got it accounts for your core strength as well. And indeed, you want flexibility and mobility sessions built into that as well. That's why I think to have a comprehensive plan makes such a huge difference. I follow a calendar, and every day is a categorized, purposeful exercise or workout. And I have complete faith in that. I've been following these programs for years now, well, probably about 8 or 9 years, and they work really, really well. So it's really important that you're just aware of the, you know, as our estrogen levels fall, as that increased risk of brittle bone disease approaches, we need to be actively working our strength in a form of strength training. You'll also find that, you know, menopause joint pain will reduce. Most of the joints in our body are synovial joints. So it means they're in a capsule, which is surrounded by synovial fluid. And the synovial fluid helps to feed the cartilage, which, you know, buffers the joints when they move together. So by doing exercise, you're also stimulating the creation of that synovial fluid, and the movement is very, very good for it. It's going to help you keep your joints mobile. A lot of injuries happen not necessarily because the muscle was weak, but because the joint was not aligning properly, or the joint had some dysfunction in it. I'm just following and finished off a primal flow based upon primal movements workout program. Is also based upon strength training, but it has been absolutely instrumental in me. So I had a left shoulder that was always a little bit tweaky, and its form wasn't very good. Same with my left hip. I think my posture must just be slightly twisted, and that has made the biggest difference to me. I feel like I'm properly aligned now. My hips are aligned, and that was just a 4-week primal movement strength based training program. So yeah, actually, if you want to have the sample workout of that, just send me a message. Just say primal flow, you know, or send me the primal flow workout, and I'll send that to you, because it was brilliant for all age levels, all fitness levels. Also, so know that you might be thinking, oh, I'm getting so much more cellulite now. All of a sudden, it's like cellulite. It could partly be cellulite. Cellulite is generally down to sluggish circulation. So if you're not keeping yourself fit and active, the chances are you will have some cellulite. But if you've noticed it getting markedly worse since you've gone through perimenopause into menopause and beyond, that is likely due to muscle atrophy as well. So we can hit that with sort of from both angles, actually. Obviously, as you're doing strength training, you're going to be building lean muscle mass. So if you've got nice muscles sort of filling out the insides of your skin, you're not going to be getting the sort of the dimply bits that you may otherwise get. So focusing on building lean muscle, but then at the same time, by doing regular exercise, you're stimulating your lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system is what helps to get rid of excess lymph, gets rid of the toxins. It helps to, you know, pump the good stuff around our bodies as well as the circulatory system. But it's the lymphatic system that's really going to clear the toxins out. So again, when you start regular exercise, you're also going to be getting rid of some of those toxins. So you're going to be attacking cellulite from both angles. I can't talk today. Mood swings, anxiety. Those are 2 very, very common symptoms of the menopause. Well, when we do exercise regularly, it sort of attacks it from all sorts of different angles. So we are gobbling up stress hormones. So we are reducing the amount of cortisol that's in our bodies, which is going to have a, a beneficial impact on getting rid of belly fat or reducing belly fat. We are stimulating our motility through our gut. I'll do gut health in a minute, but just briefly, that means that we are helping to boost the production of our feel-good hormones, which again is a really, really important aspect to, if you've got lots of feel-good hormones in your body, you're going to manage anxiety, you're going to manage low mood much more effectively. So it gobbles up stress hormones, it floods us with feel-good hormones. And then when you give it a few weeks, because if you've never done anything, you'll notice, you will feel different immediately. You'll do a workout and you will feel elated. You're going to be like, why didn't I do this sooner? But it might take 3 or 4 weeks before you actually start to see a noticeable difference. You'll feel it. You'll feel, when you're in the shower or bath, you'll start to feel your more firm around your middle, your arms, your legs, your bum. But to actually physically see it, that is going to be around about 3-4 weeks and beyond that you start to notice noticeable differences. It really is. It's not a quick overnight fix. If there's anything offering you a quick overnight fix, just leave it, because either it's not healthy or it's just a scam. When you're doing strength training, you are investing in yourself for the rest of your life. I anticipate I'm going to be doing some kind of strength training until the day I pop my clogs, because why wouldn't I? I want to be strong. I want to be fit. It's really important to me to be able to do the things that I need to do around the house and in the garden, and just have an active lifestyle. I don't want to be frail. I don't want to have increased risks of falling over because my reactions are slow, and my flexibility is not very good. And if I do fall over, I want to make sure I bounce well, and a strong body bounces better than a not strong body. And so also, when we exercise, we actually fuel. So we have in our cells, we have these little things called mitochondria, which are a bit like our batteries. And each of our cells has a mitochondria in it. And when we're exercising, we're actually fueling up. It's like plugging in our mobile phone to the main electrical circuit, and you're fueling your phone. Same thing, when you're exercising, you're fueling those mitochondria. So again, if you're feeling more energized, it's going to lift your mood. So it's going to give you more energy to deal with the mood swings. It's going to help alleviate the mood swings and the depression and just the low mood that comes with menopause. It will also give you more energy and motivation to press play the next day. So just be aware of the fact that, people say to me, I haven't got the energy to work out. It's just like, no, that's why you need to work out. Working out will give you energy. Yes, it will create a sense of a physical tiredness, which is a happy, very positive tiredness. It won't be that frazzled, and just fatigue and horrible feeling. But so if you're one of those people that says, I haven't got the energy to work out, that is, you need to work out to give yourself that energy. Otherwise you stay stuck in that rut, and that rut is really, really, whenever are you going to get out of it? You've probably been feeling like that for weeks, months, maybe even years. Now, if that's the case, you absolutely just have complete faith in the process. I promise you it works. I've worked with hundreds of women and men. It absolutely works. I'm one of the most energized people I know, and my life is really, really busy, and it's proof it works. I don't do anything strange. I just do my workouts. I do have my adaptation herbs every day. I'm a big believer in those as well. But in actual fact, if you decide to get started with me and let me help you on your wellness journey, you'll also get access to those adaptation herbs as well. So, and it's a brilliant price. It's a brilliant bundle that you get access to. So just be aware of that. Working out, exercise is also going to help you sleep more effectively. So you're probably struggling with sleep, with hot flushes, maybe anxiety, maybe palpitations, maybe just that antsiness that you feel. I've been through that myself too. Even with working out, I really had to practice sleep management, good sleep hygiene. One of the freebies I will offer you is my healthy sleeping guidebook, because sleep is the foundation sleep is the foundation for everything, for our mental health and our physical health. If you're not sleeping, it's used as a form of torture. So if you're not sleeping, it's something you really do need to prioritize, and you might need to be strict with yourself. I know when I'm really disciplining my sleep pattern, I sleep really, really well now. Having had years of terrible sleep, But as soon as I let it go, so as soon as I get a bit lax or a bit lazy, I notice it affects my sleep straight away. It also affects my mental health. I don't feel as buoyant. I don't feel as go-getty. I don't feel as motivated. So, but make sure that you are getting good sleep. And when you're doing regular exercise, it will help you sleep more effectively. Just know, avoid exercise, I would say 3 hours before bed. Yet you can go for a stroll, a nice evening stroll before bed. That's not going to cause a problem. But if you're doing exercise that, is making you sweaty, avoid it 3 hours before bed. I used to host Krav Maga classes. So it's like, it's Israeli close combat fighting. It's heavy duty stuff. And I used to do it on a Wednesday and a Friday evening. And I was the only girl in the group with a lot of big men, very fit men. And I'd get back home absolutely exhausted, literally dead on my feet. And could I sleep? No, because the adrenaline was just pinging off. It was horrendous to try and get to sleep. I slept so badly those nights. So just be aware not to do high, really heavy duty stuff before bed, and give yourself a good 3 hours to get those sort of stress hormones out of your body. So what else did I want to say? So on digestion, so as our estrogen levels fall, the motility, so the peristalsis that pushes the food and the drink through our gut digestive system, that slows down. So you might find that you're getting more bloating, you might be getting more constipated, you might be having inflammatory issues in your gut. Drink lots of water, but also exercise is going to help get things moving. So you might find, if you've been constipated for a while, add more water, eat plenty of veggies as well, because that will also help with the fiber in the veggies. But you'll find that when you start exercising regularly, you will all of a sudden have a really successful and satisfying trip to the bathroom. And if you keep up with your exercise, you'll find it becomes a lot more regular. So just bear that in mind. It does have that really positive impact on all the sort of the not so pleasant things about gut health when it all starts to slow down a bit. Exercise will also help to keep your pelvic floor strong to a degree. So you can do a glutes bridge, you can do a squat and not engage your pelvic floor at all. The ladies that I work with in my body confidence group, I'm always reminding them, because I forget sometimes as well, before you do a squat, engage your pelvic floor and then do the squat and glute bridges. And also there's all sorts of lunges, side lunges, forward lunges. There's all sorts of things that we can do to make sure that we're engaging our pelvic floor before we do anything. And once you get into the habit of thinking that way, it just becomes second nature. So by doing workouts, you're not necessarily, unless you actively think about engaging your pelvic floor, you're not necessarily going to engage your pelvic floor. You do have to think about it. But what better sort of habit stack is there to do your workout and also focus on engaging your pelvic floor? It's something that we talk about a lot, and it's a really important and vital aspect of getting older, because like all our muscles, as our estrogen levels fall, our connective tissue loses some of its elasticity, it gets a bit weaker, a bit flappier, a bit floppier. Same thing can happen with your pelvic floor. So if you're finding, you cough or sneeze and you pee yourself, that is something that you can correct, and it is just down to pelvic floor strength. So unless you have a prolapse, in which case you can still work on your pelvic floor, definitely. But there may be sort of a mechanical issue there as well that's causing the weaker bladder or indeed bowel. But you can combine both your strength training exercises with remembering to do your pelvic floor exercises, combine them together, and you have a fabulous workout. So what sort of type of workout is best for you? To be quite honest, it's the one that you're going to do. If you've never done anything and you love aerobics, do aerobics. It's a way in. If you have never done anything but you love swimming, start swimming. But let that be the launch pad, let that be the catalyst to then incorporate strength training at a later date. And don't let that later date be too far in the future, because you have to strength train for optimal health, for just general basic health after menopause. you absolutely have to be strength training. There is no doubt about it. There are all sorts of different types of strength training. The platform that I use, we have thousands of workouts. The vast majority of those are strength training based. Whether it can be bar, it can be MMA, so you're getting strength training and mixed martial arts type training too. We have Tough Mudder. We have absolute beginners only workouts that are based on strength training. We have a program that is perfect to strengthen your pelvic floor. It uses a core ball. It's all zero impact, and that is again based upon strength training. So we have, there's dance. Dance is a bit more aerobic, of course, but there are so many different things that you can do that incorporate strength training. We have a fantastic running program, in actual fact. I'm not a natural runner. I can swim for miles, but running I struggle with. And I've done that program, I think 4 times back to back now. And I actually got to the stage where I thought I could actually run really well. But it's broken down into 20 minutes of proper strength training beforehand. And then you do a 20-minute to 30-minute guided run, and she does all sorts of stuff. So it's not just you go out and run a certain distance. She does all sorts of amazing training with you, and she makes it really fun. So I mean, she's a track athlete, and she knows exactly what she's talking about. She gets great results. Her figure is incredible. So you might be now saying, yeah, but I haven't got time. We make time for the things we prioritize. If health is a priority for you, you will make time for it. There was a time in my life I was getting up at 4:30 to get my workouts done in the morning. Yes, I know that sucks, but I survived somehow, and it gave me the amazing platform. My lifestyle has changed slightly since then. The amount of time we wake up and we scroll and might watch a bit of the news, just 10 minutes of scrolling. And then we might think, you wander around. It's time wasted. Put it to good use. If you know you're tight on time, set your alarm a bit earlier, get your workout gear ready, know what you're doing, have your program ready and planned. Don't wake up and then look on YouTube and think, what am I going to do today? Because by the time you found something, you'll have already run out of time. Message me. I have workout programs that are 5 minutes long, that are intensive, that will get you great results to begin with. You can even stack them. You can do several of the different fibers if you can. So you've done 5 minutes, you think, I'll do a lower body strength training now. And they say, I've done that. I've still got another 5 minutes available. So you do a core or whatever it might be. Workouts that are just 20 minutes long. Again, they're fast. They're in, you're in, you're out, you've done it. Really, really effective workout programs. The vast majority are between 25 and 30 minutes long. You will get great results, but you will, we prioritize, we do the things we prioritize. If health to you is not a priority, I'm guessing it is because you've listened this long, but if it's not, then you'll never make time for it. Time is the biggest excuse. I know we all live busy lives. I'm not saying your life isn't busy enough. I know what a busy life is like. Mine's bloody crazy. But we do make time for those things that are important to us. So just bear that in mind. So I hope this is helpful to you. If you have friends that you want to do this with, bring them along. Share this with them. If you decide that you want the extra accountability, so you want to start your strength training journey, your healthier journey, but you're worried about how motivated you're going to stay, are you going to keep yourself accountable? Will you fall off after a while? You probably won't, because there is such a wide range of things to do, and it's really fun and engaging. But when I started, I didn't really have any intention of building a big business when I started this. I started because I wanted the discount on the products, but I also wanted the chance to earn a little bit of affiliate income. So if I had a friend that said to me, oh God, I've noticed your shape's changing, what are you doing? I could bring that person on, and I would earn a commission, and that person would also be plugged into my amazing community, and that person would get incredible results. So, if you decide you might want to build a big business, you might be a PT who's watched this thinking, actually, yeah, I want to have something that frees up my time, that I still get to focus on my own health and wellness, but where I can help a greater audience, because it's all based online, it's all social media based. So if you're one of those people who does want to earn an income, again, message me. I have all sorts of ladies and men in my team who some of them just want to pay for their groceries. Some of them want to save up and pay for the family holiday a couple of times a year. Others want to build a substantial income. So I will drop all the relevant links below. You can have a little look at those, and just get in touch with me. I'm here to help. There is no obligation, there's no pressure. For me, it's been absolutely life-changing on every single level, and I would love to share it with you more. But it also helps you keep accountable. If you've got people who have joined you, whether they're as a customer or somebody who wants to come in and build a business, it really makes you show up on those days when you just think, oh, nah, I don't really feel like doing it. You kind of think, oh, what all those people that I work with are. So you do it, and then you feel amazing, and it makes the biggest difference to you. So on that, thank you so much for your company. I hope this has been helpful. I just wanted to explain a little bit about the different hormones. I know this can be a bit kind of confusing, but also help you understand on how many different levels strength training is going to help you go through your perimenopause, beyond into postmenopause, and be a healthy, strong, vibrant, energized older person. If you've got anything you'd like me to mention or cover in a future episode, please let me know. Please give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful, and I'll look forward to catching up with you again soon.